UK rapper CBIZ must be breathing a sigh of relief and giving his solicitor a pat on the back after the 38-year-old rapper was found not guilty of being in possession of Class A, more specifically H. CBIZ, who is from the South Kilburn area of London and real name David Osadebay, explained to the court that he had flown to Bermuda in order to go on holiday and to take in the music scene and its culture. An alarming fact that led to CBIZ's arrest was he had not used his own name to enter the country on July 3rd back in 2023. Instead, the rapper had opted to use an alias, choosing the name Joshua Webb. Now, CBIZ did enter the UK on a British passport, but Bermuda authorities believed that he was using forged documents. Now, police initially arrested CBIZ on the 4th of August on suspicion of using fraudulent docs to enter Bermuda. Now, when he was arrested close to his hotel, outside the Royal Palms Hotel, police says that as part of the investigation, they conducted a search on his room. Remember, regarding a trial, it's always a case of what you can prove. Now, when police searched CBIZ's room, the safe was unlocked. Inside the safe, police says that plastic-wrapped capsules, multiple, were inside the safe. Now, inside the capsules contained white powder. Police tested the powder and it flagged up as H, being Class A. Now, police says that even though it was not found on the rapper himself at the time, the 160 grams of H must have belonged to David Osadebay or an associate. The next step was for police to test the powder, and the police says that out of the 11 samples taken, CBIZ and another person's DNA was found. When that information was passed on to CBIZ, CBIZ acknowledged it. Ironically, the H had been so diluted to just a purity of between 9 and 11%. And regarding the fake docs used to enter the country, CBIZ told investigators that when he flied, he often used an alias rather than his own name because CBIZ was a star, a celebrity, and media would often scrutinize his every movements when traveling across the globe. Now, regarding the dress, CBIZ also had an answer ready. So CBIZ told police that he had no idea that H had been stored and locked away in his safe until police made them aware of it after he had already been arrested. CBIZ also says that when he came to Bermuda for the holiday, he wanted to network with the locals, so he connected with a person called Jay, who was going to act as his tour guide during the Bermuda trip. And then on the 4th of August, CBIZ had intended to visit the cup match, but spent most of the day waiting for quote-unquote Jay. Now, after waiting for hours, Jay arrived with another man, whom asked to use the toilet and CBIZ's hotel. CBIZ obliged. CBIZ then says that the men asked if they could leave something in the safe. CBIZ once again said yes, and then gave Jay and the other man the code to the safe. CBIZ says that he never knew about the H or even touched it or tampered with it. So, for as to how DNA belonging to CBIZ ended up on a package, CBIZ's solicitor had a theory ready, one that the prosecution could not categorically dispute. Now, CBIZ's solicitor stated that when the Bermuda police took the H out of the safe and then put it on CBIZ's bed to photograph the evidence, it's likely that some form of DNA had been transferred then. Now, CBIZ ultimately was found not guilty after the evidence against the rapper was classed as too flimsy. However, it's likely that CBIZ could still potentially be found guilty of the fake documents. He'll most likely just receive a travel ban from entering the country because the guy has already spent roughly a year in jail, or nearly a year. Let me know your thoughts on the case in the comments. Stay safe.